All new episodes of Mike Tyson Mysteries air Mondays at 10:30, 9:30 Central on Adult Swim. You see, Mike Tyson is done with boxing, and now the champ and his team, a talking pigeon, a ghost, and his adopted Korean daughter, are out solving mysteries, just like Scooby-Doo. He's even got his own mystery van. You can join Mike as he punches dinosaurs, leprechauns, and astronauts on the moon. The all-star voice cast includes the real Mike Tyson, Norm Macdonald as the talking pigeon, and Jim Rash from Community. So watch Mike Tyson Mysteries, Mondays at 10:30 p.m., 9:30 Central on Adult Swim.
Choose Shell V-Power Premium Gasoline. It removes an average of 60% of performance-robbing gunk on intake valves left by low-quality premium gasolines, and it starts with your very first tank. Choose Shell V-Power today and let the excitement begin.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't. You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Talor Negron, Mohr Stories, podcast number 4,682,000 pi. We were just talking before we started recording that I feel like I've known you my entire life, and this is the first time we've ever met. It's too bizarre. Is that a comic thing?
You know, I really do believe it's a soul thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a heavy-duty soul thing. Because I remember first seeing you thinking, oh, there's that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I know that guy.
And you get that a lot too, because I think you and I have something. You're going to hear Santa Monica High School band in the background, but people dig it. They like the crickets. It's like Dean Martin's here with the cocktails tinkling. You and I have a weird thing in common. I think that we've hit so many demographics over like a few decades that when people come up to us in the street, we got to figure out where they actually know us from.
Yeah.
And you in particular, for crying out loud. I mean, is it the Olsen twins or is it?
It depends on if LAX security is that's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
Yeah,
that is so Raven. By the way, and she's actually working there now.
She's not doing that.
No, she's not.
She's like the first.
The name tag said Raven.
She's doing Black Hello Dolly.
Really?
No.
Well, the reason I bit on it was because everything there winds up a black version. The Wiz was like the high water mark. I'm not being facetious at all. It was the high water mark. And then Tyler Perry seems to just sort of take like just random white like, you know what? We're going to do Ordinary People but black. It's like Chris Rock, Cat Williams, and Nene Leakes and Ordinary People. And you're like, how is this going to work out? This is too bizarre for words.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
But you said the soul thing, and I agree with you. And for anybody out there that's not hippy-dippy, it was pitch black out when Talor Negron came to my house. And he's out on the sidewalk, and people are walking their kids by, and I saw you. You're wearing a hat. I couldn't recognize you at all. It was pitch black. You're with another person, our good friend Logan over here, who I met through Kelly Carlin, our friend. And I just went, oh, my gosh, Talor, you're here for me. And we were about 50 feet away, but I knew who you were in the dark.
Yeah.
And I think you say soul thing, but I do think there's a weird thing with comics where it's like if you've never met a comic and suddenly sit down, it's maybe it's because we have the same shorthand.
Maybe it's because we have the same wound, and we just want to go to that wound. You know, on some degree, you wanted to heal that wound. You listen to this Joan Rivers and Johnny fight, and what kind of interesting fight is that? You know, when you learn about like, oh, I could totally be Johnny Carson.
Yeah, I don't think people realize Joan Rivers, rest in peace, obviously. She lives up the street, lived, and Mel did. But, like, you want to... Show business has... Let's talk about this for a second. Weird showbiz grudges and fights. Yeah. Johnny Carson, she guest hosted for him, like, probably 100 times. I'm rounding up, most likely. Yeah. And then she gets her own show. Like, and Johnny bans her from The Tonight Show. Like, is she supposed to fucking turn it down?
Yeah.
Like, you would think a real friend would be like, I'm so glad you got something like this. And no, banned forever. And then Jay Leno kept that ban.
Yeah, and those men at NBC. And then they died away and she flourished.
Yeah.
She flourished and she became like Jefferson or Lincoln. Because she really is defined what it's like to be an electronic human being.
It's a very good point that you compared her to like ex-presidents that made their marks.
You know,
although she's not on money.
On 9/11, whatever that 9/11, I wanted to put a picture of Joan Rivers coming out of the limo with the chinchilla coat. Never forget.
Never forget all those chinchillas that gave their life to make a funny lady warm.
Yeah, and she said, but they have to be dead because when they're alive, they bite you.
Yeah, and she would know because she probably tried on a few living chinchillas. Were you close with Joan at all? Were you guys buddies?
I knew her when she was directed Rabbit Test, and she would come to our shows and be very encouraging with Edgar and the child Melissa.
You've worked with weird directors, and by weird I mean not people you would think would direct. Like you just said, Joan Rivers, Nothing But Trouble, directed by Dan Aykroyd. Was that his last directorial thing that he did, do you know?
Yeah.
I love the movie, and I think a lot of people listening to this, a lot of potheads right now in Sydney, Australia, going, "Oh, I love that movie." Like Nothing But Trouble was great.
It was the first time I ever smelled crack.
Really?
Yeah, because Tupac Shakur was in the movie with the Digi Underground. So they rolled in one night, and it was the tent city in Warner Brothers Ranch, and it was all Valkenvani and all those weird rooms. And there was just sinister problems. Dan Aykroyd had like a hunting, paranormal sex party up there, I think.
A hunting? Say it again.
Like a sexual hunting up in the Warner Brothers Ranch.
He used it as a place to bed females.
No, and Tupac Shakur, and they were doing crack and
crack.
Yeah.
But how do you know what crack smells like if you've never smelled it, Talor Negron?
Oh, I've smelled crack.
Really?
Absolutely.
In Indian Wells, California?
No, I've smelled crack in my house with a Tony-nominated actress.
We won't say her name because we
can't.
Maybe she's in recovery and we'll out her anonymity. The second A stands for anonymous, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know. Damn.
But you've worked with a lot of people that've done a lot of drugs. I was reading before you came over. By the way, Talor Negron and Logan Heftel have a song out on iTunes for Robin Williams right now. It's called Laughter. And when they sent it to me before they came over, I'll be honest with you, Talor, my first thought was like, oh, great. How am I going to be nice about this? Then when I listened to it, I went, wow, this is actually great. This is very easy for me to be nice about. The song is Laughter. It's about everybody's dear friend, Robin Williams. You can get it on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. If I'm forgetting anything, Logan, holler it out. But download that song, Laughter, by Talor Negron and Logan Heftel. And Logan I met through Kelly Carlin, and he does a lot of the music whenever you do like your one-man shows. The incredible lightness of being Talor Negron. You debuted that, I believe, in Scotland, Edinburgh?
Edinburgh Theatre Festival.
That's off Broadway.
Yeah, that's off UK.
Yeah, that's off the grid. If it stinks, no one will ever know except a few Scots, and then they'll wake up drunk and they won't know.
But it's all Harry Potter town.
Really?
Yeah, it's hyper Harry Potter town like. And J. Rawlings, we used to sit at her little table, and that's why I wrote that play.
And it was just basically like, it was stories. The reviews I read of it was, it's like, don't come expecting just to laugh. Like, it was a whole thing of like personal stories for you. Like, what I assumed from reading the reviews that I read about your one-man shows, plural, was it's a lot of like uncab, your stream of consciousness.
Absolutely.
Beth Lapidus has been on here, and she's terrific, and a lot of like stream of consciousness. And then Logan Heftel gets in there, and he mixes in the music, and there's personal stories, and you kind of open up your wounds, as you brought up.
Barry Levinson came to the show, and he said, if you could pull this off, you'll make something, you'll define something. And that is, I wanted to have my act conducted like it was a movie. So there'd be like an opening and a theme and a release, and then there's double theme, and then in my brain I thought that. And all of a sudden, Logan comes, and that's what we do. And it becomes this like little opera. And I'm making it into a joke because it is so silly that here I am writing these songs. But it's the new one is, this is off the beaten path. Same-sex marriage, opera. Two gay women who detest one another decide to marry and move into a creamery in Vermont.
Naturally.
And
that's the most lesbian thing I've ever heard, by the way.
Well, and then they live in a bed of isolated disgust.
Okay.
And it's a musical, and it's called Miserable Les.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that out? Is that something you're working on now, or is it up and running?
iBooms.
iBooms? Barry Levinson, he's a very underrated actor. When he was in Rain Man, like he had those two scenes in Rain Man as the lawyer for, I believe, the place where Dustin Hoffman lived, and he was he was perfect. Like he was an astoundingly perfect actor. And it's one of those things where you see, and like it's like when you watch Scorsese in Search and Destroy or in Taxi Driver, when you're like, man, I've been working my whole life for this. This guy just jumps out from behind the camera and he's like, blows me out of the water. I hate these guys for their talent.
Yeah. Well, it isn't even the talent. It's like what you have, which is not talent. You don't have to. You are there when the camera comes on you. This is what you get. There's no fooling around.
That's what I have?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that's a real thing. And so when people see it, they feel comforted by it, and it's like being authentic.
You wrote a song for Robin Williams, your dear friend. It's called Laughter. You got to get it on iTunes. And it's, I didn't touch the Robin Williams thing at all after he died because I didn't want people to think I was gravy training. You know, it's like death porn.
I know, it's
like
so sad because we can't even grieve in a normal way.
Yeah, like the TMZ people, they want comments. I remember I went to the Improv and TMZ was there, and they wanted like a comment, and I had to tell Rita at the Improv, like, well, I'm going home. Like, it's death porn. But now enough time has gone by, we can actually have a nice conversation about Robin. I only met him once. How did you meet Robin? Like, what was your? I didn't know you knew him, and then when you guys sent me the song, I'm like, obviously Talor Negron knew Robin Williams really well because this song is breaking my heart.
I was 18. I was performing in Venice on the boardwalk, and I made this agreement that if I did this, I would be a circus performer because I would have to bark up the crowd, which is what this improv group wanted, the LA Connection. We bark up a crowd. And then when I agreed that I would do that, I had the agreement with myself that I would be a clown. I got really into it because I thought all the comedian people were really funny. Like I found my tribe of clowns. And I love this group of people. And I was nurtured by them. And then Robin Williams used to come and see us on Sundays. But he would tell us that he was from Dublin. And so I would, for a couple of...
Wait, he would come to the Venice Boardwalk?
He would be there every Sunday.
To just watch you guys dressed as clowns barking up a crowd?
And then do the show.
Wow.
And then do the show.
And you were 18?
Yeah, around there.
I'm gonna keep putting pins as we go because I think things need to be pointed out of their import because we are now dealing with a historical figure in Robin.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that when you were 18, was already doing like Moscow on the Hudson.
No, he was nobody. He had no
Like,
fame.
you didn't let me finish. No. Like I said, he was a nobody. But no, what I'm saying is, I didn't know that. I thought he was already established. But just the fact that at 18 with strangers, he wanted to play. Yeah. And he wanted to be brave with you. Yeah. Like that, now we are, it just dawned on me this moment we are dealing with an actual historical figure in Robin.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. And now we're going to be privy into the dark mental trip that some of us have when you trip. And he tripped.
You're talking about depression and addiction.
Yeah.
I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
And so, but I've never had that, I'm not making everything about myself like Tyra Banks.
I love Tyra Banks.
You watch Tyra Banks?
And I love Williams.
Wendy Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, I love. How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, she's so beautiful.
I do a radio show, and she's on one of the monitors in the radio studio the whole time, and it's either like Sports Center on one monitor, and then Wendy Williams is all the way over to the right. How you doing? You know what I like about Wendy Williams? A black woman, honest about her wigs. Like, don't bullshit me, Sherry Shepherd. You look like Pat Benatar yesterday. You look like Diana Ross today. At least Wendy Williams goes, you like my new wig? I got a new wig today. And the crowd all goes crazy for her.
Sherry Shepherd was coy.
Coy?
She was very coy about those wigs. Like, come on, Sherry, seriously.
Yeah, it would change about 1.5 feet overnight in wrong directions. Like, you can cut hair 1.5 feet, but you can't grow it.
Big ratings today.
Big ratings.
Big ratings.
For Sherry Shepherd's wig? Be more specific there, brother.
It's a, The View.
Oh, that's right. They debuted with Whoopi and other people.
Rosie.
Rosie's back.
Your friend Rosie.
I love Rosie.
Yeah.
Rosie and I have always gotten along.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in the promo for the new View, it's like, who's the third lady that's famous? Forgive me.
Rosie.
It's Rosie, Whoopi, somebody else, and then there's one lady nobody's ever heard of, and they go, and this other lady.
Yeah. I wonder who she is.
Nobody does, but it's so funny. They go, and, Marcia McDowell. And you're like, I guess so. So Robin used to come to Venice Boardwalk to watch you guys do improv and Carnival Bark, essentially.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to join in and play. Did you ever say to yourselves, hey, this guy's really good. Maybe we should have him in our troupe?
No, he didn't really play that much. He was more of like a fan, and we didn't know who he was. And then him and I became very good friends, and he gave me a car. And so I had this car from Robin, and I didn't know one thing about him. I swear I thought I was coming on to me or something, but I liked him. He spoke another language.
What, just the way he spoke, or just?
Well, it would be. I would go off on these riffs, and he could about accents, like in a Sid Caesar kind of way.
Yeah, it is. After he died, my wife knew him really well, and I met him once, and it was at the Emmys, and he went across. Like when you're being ushered through an awards program, like with your 50 handlers and the publicist, and you got to get to point A to point B quick. And then he saw me, he stopped, and he came completely upstream just to get to me. And I'd never met him before in my life. And he just put his hand on my shoulder and he said, please tell your wife I said hi. She's so lovely, such a beautiful lady. Tell her I said hello. And then he just disappeared. And I was like, that took a lot of work just to say, hey, guy I don't know, tell your wife I said hi. But I think that also speaks volumes to the light that was inside Robin. And when you speak about the slips, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said, people that don't understand mental illness, you got to realize the light that everyone listening to this, when you saw Robin Williams, imagine Robin Williams looking in the mirror and not realizing he's Robin Williams, and he never had any light for himself. Like that really is, I would say, the root of this depression that cripples so many of us.
Yeah, and he also, it was hard for him to be alone.
Yeah.
So it was hard for him. He needed people around him. And Bobcat.
That's who Nick was with.
Yeah,
that's who my wife was with. That's how she knew him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were engaged for like 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like they vacationed together.
Yeah, well, he just loves Bobcat.
Yeah, they were like dear friends.
Yeah.
But Robin, like when he died, it was like when you think about the greatest comics of all time. I always have like Carlin Pryor, the usual cast of characters. I love Lily Tomlin so much, and then it's one of those things where when Robin died, it hit me way harder than anything. It was way, like, it's still kind of like, but I'm not okay with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you reshuffle the deck for greatest of all time, I think you might have to slot Robin a lot higher than you had him in your previous draft.
Yeah, it takes a while for people to look at somebody and put them in the right frame. And right now, there's just, it's unframeable.
Yeah, he's frameless. You
It's
can't.
frameless. You can't hang that or show it off. But it'll find a frame. But most importantly is we'll just forget how the ending was.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or unless it sheds light on mental health issues, and we can pump some more money into the Thalian Center at Cedars and help people that, because there is such a stigma about mental health. If guys have like panic attacks or depression, we don't share. We don't go to people because we want to fix it. We're cavemen. It's very hard for a guy, and for a guy listening, there's about 1 million people listening right now. If you're a guy and you're depressed, for fuck's sake, pick up a phone. Like, you're okay. Like, it's just, if you had bronchitis and you couldn't stop coughing, you'd eventually say to somebody, I can't stop coughing. And mental illness, it's an illness. And don't let your own machismo get in the way of getting help. And a lot of people out there that probably want to hug you.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to be, whoever is in front of you, be kind. That is where it begins. And sometimes, I live in a building with these surly hipsters, and I can't be kind to them. I hear them coming in, I get my face ready.
Get your face ready?
Yeah.
The face you're going to use on the hipsters?
Yeah, like really superior, like, ha ha, look at you. I mean, I get them worse than they'll ever get me. I live in a torture chamber of hipsters.
It's a part of L.A. where you live, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't think you actually
it's called Silver Lake.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn, but L.A. It's Portland. It's hipster central, and everybody's wearing T-shirts. Ironically,
I call it Tattoo Town.
Tattoo Town is good, but all the tattoos again, irony. Like they're overflowing with irony. Like you see a 28-year-old man, a barista named Tyler, and he's wearing a Hello Kitty T-shirt because he thinks it's funny. And I'll tell you, Talor Negron, if I'm wearing a Hello Kitty T-shirt, it's because I love the fuck out of Hello Kitty, and I need other people to know it.
I know a juice bar that you'll be committed for 30 days if you went to this juice bar. They're not even looking at the juice. They're looking at the wall opposite from the juice.
Just because it's cool, man.
Because I think they can't accept that they have to make juice. And everybody's waiting. But that's a good time to read the tattoos.
And anything good? Have you picked up any really ones that stuck out in your mind that you thought, I'm going to commit this to memory?
I heard the groceries are going up.
That was a tattoo of a guy?
I mean, that's what they said on the radio. Very important stuff like that.
You have one of the greatest lines in all of my wife's sitcom, her entire lifetime of watching stand-up comedy. She saw you one night with Bobcat on Cab, and you were talking, you were riffing. I would be amazed if you remember saying this because it seemed to be off the top of your head. And you were somewhere on the road, and there was a gift shop, and there was a few women, maybe a little outside preferred weight of what those women should be, and they were looking at placemats. And the line that my wife to this day quotes is, there aren't enough placemats in the world to smother the pain that's inside you. And to this day, my wife will say, oh my gosh, Talor Negron with that placemat line.
Oh,
like
God, that's so funny.
Do you remember that at all?
Well, I think I do. That was
fucking placemats.
Yeah, I know. It's just so funny.
And arguing over them. Like, which one would be better?
Yeah.
Let's talk more about you. First of all, iTunes, go get the song Laughter. And Logan Heftel, it's high time people around here respect this man and go do things and get things that Logan Heftel's a part of. It's like...
Can I give you a little brief history?
Yeah.
I was making a movie.
Oh, I think you're going to start like with 0, or one AD, and I got freaked out. Go ahead.
No. I was making a movie. It was a high school musical, Japanese 4. That was the movie.
And I'm assuming you filmed this in Japan?
No, we had pickup shots in Utah.
Naturally. Welcome to Hollywood. We're doing a Japanese movie in Provo. So you're doing High School Musical Japan 4.
Yeah.
Okay. In Utah.
Yeah, and I'm in the lobby of the hotel. I see Logan, his friend Carrie, and this girl, and they come out, and they're just these young kids, like little ducks. And I guess the one guy was going to use the bathroom, and a pervert came, and they were all very upset about this pervert, and they were going to go and get this pervert and let him, give him a piece of their mind. But these kids couldn't even, choose between Hershey syrup and the other syrup. I mean, they were just, kids. So I went up and I said, "You guys, listen. I know what the story is. What's happened here? Just more to come. More to come. Accept us and move on." And we all became friends after that.
And one of those kids was Logan Heftel?
One of those kids was Todd Lincoln.
Oh, my God. That is a history lesson.
It's always
poor little Todd.
I am actually Todd Lincoln's brother.
Poor little Todd Lincoln.
Yeah.
He never quite made the cut.
I'm connected to another time.
Speaking of politics, your dad, I brought up Indian Wells.
Yes.
Your dad, when you were a kid, was mayor of Indian Wells. I've done a little research on you. I've read your file.
Yes.
So that's like show business in itself when you're the son of the mayor. Is that bizarre?
I was the John Kennedy of the Coachella Valley.
Really?
Yeah. And
just crushing ass and taking half of your flying lessons.
I had to go and shake hands and be mum. I was like Patty Davis.
Nice.
I was on the other side of the fence. Right?
There's people listening that's Ronald Reagan's daughter, ladies and gentlemen.
Sweet Patty.
Who I met at Saturday Night Live, and she had spinach between her teeth, and I thought it was very appropriate of me not to tell her.
Yeah, no,
if you're a president's daughter, you need to know that you have fucking food in your teeth. I'm sorry.
My mother, who is this wild ghetto woman from the Bronx.
Wild ghetto woman from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay. Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she knew where all those people were that were going to prevent her to go to the movies. That was her goal in life, was to go to the movies. And she set a great standard for
Wait, like white people? Like people that don't want Puerto Rican? What do you mean? Who's going to stop your mom from going to the movies in the ghetto?
The truant officer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The police.
Well, I'm with you now. Yeah, I just assumed she was your mom at the time.
No. When I was a kid. When she was a kid. So I grew up with the story of the truant officer and that insane reality. And what were you asking me about?
About being the son of a mayor.
Oh yeah, but also the mayor came, and the mayor. I appreciated my father's commitment to community service, and that we all have to give back, regardless of what party we're on.
Was your dad a good mayor?
Not to the lesbian community.
No.
No.
Anti-lesbian or anti-gay and lesbian? Loved gays, hated lesbians.
Was made uncomfortable by all lesbianism and all homosexuality.
Well, that's the time though, too, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was always the source of these insane meetings, because the lesbians would want to take over the hotels for Dinah Shore Week.
Oh, that's right. They got that huge golf tournament.
So my father had to veto. He said, "There's too much Dinah Shore."
Which was code for just too many box eaters.
I mean, it's like, that's what I'd hear that's all we talked about. We're getting into Dinah Shore weather.
There's too much Dinah Shore.
There's too much Dinah Shore.
And that was political code for lesbians. Yes. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, and it was Dinah Shore weather. I had to stay away.
We have to talk about the Olsen twins, because you did play Manuel the butler in probably your favorite project,
yes.
so Little Time.
Yes.
I'm dripping in sarcasm. I don't know if you can see it dripping onto the floor.
No, I understand.
Are you recognized again? If you look at Talor Negron's IMDb, it's alarming how many movies you've been in, and I mean, going back to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and the one with Damon Wayans,
The Main Event with Ryan O'Neal and Barbra Streisand.
The Last Boy Scout. You were in The Main Event?
Yeah.
With Streisand and Ryan O'Neal?
Streisand, yep.
Which movie had the most drugs on it? Was it the Dan Aykroyd directed one with the crack from Tupac, or was it?
Oh yeah.
Or was it the Rodney Dangerfield one?
When Rodney did that movie,
Easy Money,
there was so much cocaine, and what was it called? Like you had a disco drip in your nose.
Yeah.
You had a disco headache.
Did that affect production?
Oh, we closed down for.
Really?
Oh, we closed down for 3 months.
3 months?
Oh yeah, and everybody got frozen. I took an apartment. Jennifer Jason Leigh, myself. At that time, the actor Kevin Spacey was kind of living with me. So Kevin was up to his shenanigans. And it was a very odd time. And so many shenanigans happened with Kevin and Jennifer during this hiatus. And that should be a movie.
Kevin, I know well. We worked together and we became like super fast friends.
I love Kevin Spacey.
I adore him. He's a very dear friend.
I wish he was here right now.
I just want to hear a Jack Lemmon impression for the next 40 minutes. But what's amazing to me is that production closed down on Easy Money because of cocaine. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Rolling Stones just banged out It's Only Rock and Roll and Sticky Fingers for the same problem.
Yeah.
Bunch of pussies. They can't handle their coke.
The studios were filled with cocaine. They did at the meetings. They did cocaine.
For the movie studios.
Yeah. Julia Phillips, who won the Oscar for The Sting. She was the first female to win the Oscar for producing. Was my teacher and a good friend of mine. And she just said, Dino De Laurentiis would just go.
Just big knife through the middle of the pile.
This is mine.
Real?
Yeah, it was like that. And they would do it all, and Julia would freak out because she'd say, don't ever speak Italian in front of me. Ever.
What?
Because all of a sudden they start talking.
They get coked out and they start talking in Italian.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Did you read Keith Richards' book?
Yeah, I did.
Like, he had, like, the neatest take about cocaine. Like, people talk about doing coke all night. Like, if it's really good coke, you could do, like, a bump, and you just kind of, it's like a great wave in surfing. And he explained, like, the Stones got their coke medicinally through an actual doctor. It was cut with nothing, and if you touched it with your fingers, it would actually dissolve from the moisture in your finger. Right now, somebody's getting like shit pains thinking about how great the coke is. Listening.
Well, you know that's what you're doing. Did you do this cocaine?
No, I've never done cocaine.
You never did cocaine.
No, I just.
And what's your big problem?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Booze, pills, NyQuil.
You take what kind of pills?
Well, my dentist, he was a real asshole. He prescribed Vicodin for me once. And you want to know how, I don't know if you're in a program or anything like that, but I could share with the listener. It's a pretty funny story. I was sober, hadn't drank. I got out on NyQuil. I was drinking 3 bottles of NyQuil a day. But I wasn't drinking, Taylor, you see. It wasn't just NyQuil.
You were enjoying NyQuil.
Oh, it's great. People go, I would fall asleep. I'm like, well, anybody can fall asleep. It takes a real man and a real addict to push through and peek out the window on the other side of that.
That's a great song. Don't you think?
What, peek through?
Well,
NyQuil?
Yeah, like that's like you can't say gay anymore. It's really sad. That's like the gay version of a Jim Morrison song.
Yeah.
You break on to a gayer side.
Break on through the gay side. I mean, you got to experiment sometime. I mean,
but I'm not even like saying that. Like the, oh God.
But my dentist gave me a prescription for Vicodin, and the prescription was 10, and there's a little prescription bottle with 10 pills in it. And I took one Vicodin, and I'd never taken a pill before in my life. And all of a sudden, I felt kind of like vibey. Like I felt good. I don't know how else to explain it. Like a tuning fork, like a little vibration to me, and I dug it. And then I went downstairs. I had a house in the Hollywood Hills. I went downstairs into a guest bathroom, locked the door behind me. Remember, he gave me 10. And there's a black countertop, and there's white pills. And I counted them out to make sure he didn't fuck me. There better be 9. He gave me 10. I took 1. I got a little buzz, and I sat there and went 8, 9. And as I'm putting him back in the pill bottle, I'm like, yeah, lucky dentist right there. Because if I counted 6, I'm going back to whoop his ass. Fuck me on this pill prescription for 10. What a creep I turned out to be. But it's all behind me.
Where were you born?
I'm from Verona, New Jersey. Like by Giant Stadium, the Meadowlands, where they do all that. Where they shot The Sopranos, mostly.
Okay.
Geico presents Strange Savings Stories. Sam Tucker woke to find crop circles in his cornfield that spelled out the word Geico. Was this a message sent by aliens? Sam went to Geico.com and saved hundreds of dollars with great discounts. He woke the next day to find new crop patterns had formed. They spelled out, "You the man." It seems the aliens were pleased indeed.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When I drive, I want excitement behind the wheel. That's why I choose Shell V Power Premium Gasoline, and I experience a drive that comes alive. Shell V Power removes an average of 60% of performance-robbing gunk on intake valves left by low-quality premium gasolines. Hey, man, I drive a lot for a living. I can't have gunk in my engine. That's why I got that Shell V Power Premium, baby. Starts with your very first tank. Now you can save big on Shell fuels. Just sign up free for the Fuel Rewards Network program and receive at least 3 cents per gallon instantly on every single fill-up. For a full offer and details, visit fuelrewards.com. Jay Mohr, you can trust me. Stamps.com is what you need to be using. Computers are designed to make running a business easier, including your mailing and shipping. Use Stamps.com to get 24-hour access to the post office right from your computer. No waiting in line, no hassles. Stamps.com makes mailing and shipping easy. Just use the computer and printer you already have to get official U.S. postage for any letter, any package. Print the postage directly onto the envelopes, labels, and even plain paper, then hand it over to your mail carrier. No guesswork at all. It's easy. Stamps.com will send you a digital scale that automatically calculates the exact postage you need for any class of mail. You will never have to go to the post office again. I use Stamps.com, and it saves me so much time and so much energy. I want you to use Stamps.com as well. Right now, use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for this special offer. It's a no-risk trial, plus a $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the home page and type in my last name, M-O-H-R. Stamps.com, enter Mohr.
Are the Olsen twins, first of all, you played Manuel the Butler.
Yeah. But
What do you get recognized the most from? Because you were in everything.
I think it's all kind of melted into this Camille Paglia fever dream. It just is. People will come up and just smile.
They just know you from something.
They smile, and there's dark jokes. I have a very terrible dark joke. Am I allowed to talk about dark jokes?
Say whatever you want.
One of the things about being a person that's in the miasma is that people will just put their phone up to you and try to take your picture. Or not try, take your picture. And then make believe that they're not doing it.
Yeah, they're playing Candy Crush, but then they're bad actors.
Yeah, but I know what they're doing. So
how's that playing into a dark joke?
Somebody did it at the World Trade Center memorial.
Oh, I think you meant black. You mean dark, like morbid.
Yeah, and the
let fly.
And this girl put the camera up, and she said, "I'm sorry. My husband thinks he knows you, and it's driving him insane." And I said, "I'm trying to mourn here. I'm at the World Trade Center. I have to mourn. It costs $38. I'd like to mourn now." And she would not take no for an answer. And she said, "Well, what were you in?" And I said, "The South Tower."
Yeah. Did you walk away?
She went down.
I want to know all of this.
She went down into the fountain and got smushed up like in a Superman cartoon.
I like it a lot.
No.
I like 38. I paid my $38. I'm trying to mourn. I've been to a lot of I've been to the Vietnam Wall. I've not been back to the World Trade Center since it happened. But I've been to the SS Arizona and Hawaii, and what astounds me is there is a line of Japanese people taking selfies.
I know.
I'm like, are you guys fucking out of your minds?
How does this happen?
You bomb the shit out of the people you're standing above that are interred in a submarine. There's 1,100 goddamn sailors in this sub that died because your grandfather dropped a bomb on them. And you're like, selfie, and they get down in like a hip-hop pose, like, yo, what's up? Arizona in the house. Like, you guys are creeps.
Yeah, no, you see it over there on the west side with that big, huge boat. They respect things, and everybody's remembering it now through drunk history. This is the new thing now, drunk history.
Yeah.
So I think we have a world right now where everything's going to be written by the best illustrator.
Well, that's the way it's going. People want to look at pictures. They want a slideshow on their internet page.
You know, I have to do that.
They want to like it. They want to hit like.
I'm working with a company in India. They hired me to write a movie. They're Bollywood people. So I have to deal with them. Very different. Very successful, but very different. But their books, that when they see an outline, they want to see a picture book. It's almost like you have to have a book printed with all the perfect cast, lit, with the story as simple as possible.
The Bollywood people?
Yeah.
No, that's not lack of imagination. I'm assuming they're very creative and imaginative people. Well, what do you attribute that to? What culturally makes them need to see visually?
Oh, I think that in selling it to the Sunni community.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sunnis aren't going to read like a draft of Glengarry Glen Ross and go, we get it. Everybody's tragic, even Roma. All right, I got a trivia question for Talor Negron. You know what? Let's take a quick commercial. Listen to these sponsors and buy all their wares. And we'll be back very shortly. Listen. All right, Mohr Stories podcast, Talor Negron. You got to get the song Laughter, him and Logan Heftel on iTunes. You can get it on Spotify. And do you get recognized more? I'm obsessed with what you get recognized with. Is it? I'm guessing it's The Last Boy Scout because you were the villain and you had like one of the most amazing deaths ever in cinematic history.
Yeah, thank you, Tony Scott.
My name's Jay, but go ahead.
No, but I mean, could you imagine that Tony Scott directed that movie and ended up like Tony? What a weird year. What a weird year for me for the Talor Negron character.
Why?
Well, because Tony killed himself.
Oh.
And Robin, back to this theme again. It's too bizarre. But that movie was really, really great because Tony Scott and Bruce Willis somehow wanted me just to be me. And I thought if I could just get my hair the right cut, if I could just have that hair and make kidnapping Bruce Willis the second most important thing I was doing that day.
After your hair.
Sort of.
It works.
Yeah.
You're like, it's literally like one of the best villains
Isn't it
ever.
great?
And MTV. Shit! The MTV Awards. It was the best on-screen death.
I know.
You won an award for dying.
Yeah.
That's tough to do. And one of the only times you can actually accept that award is if it happens in make-believe. Not too many people are like, hey, man, guy went down in a hail of bullets. Get on up here and accept your prize, you dead son of a bitch.
Well, do they ever applaud when you die in a movie?
Applaud?
Yeah.
Me, personally?
Yeah.
No. I never did anything that interesting where I died. You were in The Last Boy Scout.
I mean,
with Damon
when they a couple of movies they applaud when I die. But in The Last Boy Scout, I was there at the Chinese theater with my parents, and they got really upset.
Really?
And my mom, I thought she was going to, like, freak out.
You're Puerto Rican, Iranian?
No.
You might want to brush up that bio you got.
No. It's so funny.
You're not Iranian?
No, everybody always thinks I'm Iranian. And
well, you say it in interviews. My mom, being Iranian, says, I don't know that Africa's a continent either, and I did okay.
No.
I read. What do you mean no? I just read it on Huffington Post. You wrote it yourself. Why am I shouting? Because you're eating blueberries and I'm covering the time.
No, I'm sorry.
People don't realize Talor Negron's had a full meal this entire podcast, and I'm just covering.
When I came up here, I went swimming in the ocean. It was so beautiful today.
It is nice.
It was like being in Africa. I thought I was going to see elephants. The ocean was so beautiful, and it was riddled with sharks, and it was just so beautiful. And there we were swimming. And then we come here, and it's
idyllic.
This is Spicoli land.
Spicoli.
This is very Spicoli.
You want to talk Spicoli? You were the pissed off pizza guy.
I was, yes, I was. And
Like right, real quick, right now, 50,000 people went, oh yeah, fuck, shit. Like you've done everything.
Well, that was pretty wild because I was the first Gen Xer in a movie.
Yeah,
I was
that's right.
Overqualified and slightly pissed off.
Let's go back to The Last Boy Scout, where people applaud when you die. Your non-Iranian mother.
My non-Iranian...
Your Puerto Rican mother.
My Puerto Rican mother, who is very emotional. When they start killing me, really, and beating me up, and we know that I'm going to be losing, she starts to cry like a baby. And then when I'm going down I'm going into the helicopter to be dismembered, my mom was like, no.
It's like she yelled it out loud?
Yeah, I was like, have Junior Mints, please, some Junior Mints. I was so embarrassed because she let out this blood-curdling no. And Wesley Snipes rolled his eyes.
At your mom?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he has a geranium on his head.
I know.
He's got like a hair system working. Like he shouldn't be rolling his eyes at anybody.
It's
nice that Logan's holding in his laughter. God forbid people know you're having a good time. It happens every podcast. People laugh, Taylor, and they go like they put their hands over their mouth. Like I don't want people to hear me laughing. I don't want to ruin it by laughing.
Scared. We may ruin it. You may want to add 1,000 more.
Here's the thing about your death in The Last Boy Scout. It won an award for MTV Best On-Screen Death. But when you died, how was your hair?
I remember David Spade was there that day, and
he's an expert in hair.
And
he said many variations of it.
Actually, David Spade has many variations of Milo hair.
Right now, he's wearing Ellen's,
which is a whole other movie of the week.
So the hair was good when he died in The Last Boy Scout?
Of course it was. It's always.
Do you think your character thought about his hair, knowing he was dying? Open casket. I want to make sure the hair looks nice.
I think my character did that. Joel Silver, we had fittings every day. I had to go to the studio, and they would check my pants with the color, with the Dolce & Gabbana, with the Tom Ford, and I felt, like a little puppet. And in Stuart Little, too. They did the same thing, where I was like a puppet.
I hope they didn't check your wardrobe for Stuart Little. That would make them crazy people, because it's a goddamn voiceover. What do they do?
No, I played the real Stuart, the movie Stuart Little.
Oh, I forgot. There's other human beings in it.
We had Gene and David.
I made a mistake. I admit it. I admit it straight up. When I make a mistake and make a fool of myself, I let people know.
No, there was also, it's...
I was thinking of Ratatouille. That's why I did it. I was just thinking of mice movies.
Ratatouille
I said that like walking.
And Stuart
I was thinking
Little,
of
very
mice
similar.
movies.
They have a lot of rat heart.
I was thinking of mice movies. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what we were talking about either, but I'm having a ball. What do Kim Novak, Cesar Romero, Mariska Hargitay, and Talor Negron have in common?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Well, one day this person was working on my house, and he stuck his head in my window, and I said, Zoltan, why do you have this scar across your throat? And he said, oh, because my mother was a movie star, and a lion bit my head off.
Mm.
And I went, okay. Who was your mother? She was called Jane Mansfield.
But you didn't really know Zoltan Mansfield, did you?
Haggerty.
I was going to say fucking you were all in Falcon Crest. You took it to a whole nother level. Holy shit, that took a goddamn turn for the best. I'm like, hey, what did Kim Novak, Cesar Romero, Mariska Hargitay, Shannon Tweed...
I could do it all.
It was Falcon Crest, and you're like, well, I'll tell you one thing. Jane Mansfield's son almost got his head bit off by a lion, and one time he was doing work on my house. Well, what the fuck are we talking about comedy and bullshit Olsen movie twins for? Talk to me about...
But could you imagine you look up and you say, what?
This really happened?
Yeah.
Because with you, I don't know.
No, I know. Everybody says it, but I don't know. Why? If I made up different stories, I would have better stories.
No, what's better than a guy that got his head bitten off by a lion whose mother was murdered by Charles Manson's crew? Not Charles Manson. Charles Manson's crew.
Know. Yeah, that's so...
Manson gets way too much credit. He was a goddamn pussy. He never murdered fucking anybody. He always sent lemmings out to do his work. He would have been a great president.
Growing up here in the hills of Charles Manson Town, I would go to bed every night thinking, well, it's going to happen tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like, because I'm a Jersey guy, I don't know, but at the time, in like Laurel Canyon or whatever, you really thought like they're on a creepy crawl, they're coming to get me.
Creepy crawl, yeah, absolute. Mucelli, whatever they used to wear, that juice, Mucelli juice.
I don't know.
Patchouli.
Patchouli. Michelli's Pizzeria? What?
This is what happens
a
when
strange
you get
cold.
old. The mucelli juice.
The patchouli. I forget what
Oh,
comic.
yes. Thank you.
Some comic has a joke. Is that patchouli oil smells like if flowers could fart. Forget who it is.
I know it is the really.
It's offensive.
Chattiest, darkest.
Chattiest?
Chatty, that's my word.
You're the best.
You want to hear what chatty is?
Wait, yeah. But we got to get back to Zoltan. This is amazing.
Zoltan.
What's chatty?
Chatty is this thing that Karen Bark and I came up with a million years ago about things that are, it's so disturbing, like seeing a lone child's shoe in the middle of the freeway.
Oh.
Any egg platterware at a tag sale. Wet books. The sound of a Vietnamese man coming while he's projecting a porno film. Chatty.
Chatty. Spell it. With T's or G's?
C-H-A-D-D-Y.
Oh,
Chatty.
chatty.
Yeah, so people will go, they'll say, oh, Taylor, I had a really chatty experience. And what was it? A woman broke her bag of goldfish on the subway.
Yeah, and those
and you're like, well, thank you for telling me that.
But it's chatty, and they wanted to share with you because you created a word. Don't blame them. You're the creep that came up with a weird word.
I know.
No, people don't realize. Talor Negron, this is important. Mariska Hargitay's mom and Zoltan Hargitay, Mickey Hargitay was the dad. Their mom was Jane Mansfield.
Yeah.
And she was bludgeoned to death while pregnant.
No. She was in a car accident in the fog in New Orleans.
Who the fuck am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Sharon Tate.
I'm thinking of Sharon Tate.
Yeah. It would all happen.
I like that I went Manson and you just went down the rabbit hole with me, and you never said at any time, like, no, Jay, you have the complete wrong.
No, because it's all one miasma of time. There was those wicked dark nights of Los Angeles. And they all do kind of blend together.
Jane Mansfield died in a car accident in...
yeah. And...
in New Orleans, right?
In New Orleans, yeah.
That now I remember, but I had her confused with Sharon Tate. But why does Zoltan? Why? First of all, the man's name is Zoltan. Let's start with Look, there's one thing about having a weird name, okay? But that's fine when you're a grown up. You're Zoltan, and people go, it's it's the guy that works in my yard, Zoltan, whatever. But at some time, you wore a onesie, and you were in a carriage. And you were in the mall in like the little space at the food court. People said, oh my gosh, they leaned in, Taylor, and they said, what a cute little baby. Look at those little toots. Look, I want to bite his feet. What's his name? And somebody had to go, Zoltan. My baby boy
Zoltan.
Zoltan. And this is my other son, Ziggy. And Holtharth.
Do you know that when I was a kid, we went swimming with the Lugosi twins?
Really?
Yeah. Because Mr. Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
You have to scare people with Bela Lugosi.
Bela.
Oh, it's frightening. Don't do it.
Wait, so why did Zoltan have a scar on his neck? Why is Zoltan Hargitay wrestling with lions?
Because
your mom died in a car accident. Lay low. Wait for the inheritance. Maybe go on Law and Order like your sister. What the fuck is going on with this guy? Is he still alive, first of all?
Yes, because
get him in here. He's got to come on.
Mariska Hargitay. So this is this crazy thing.
Why do you say everything with an accent like a high schooler that just came back from Paris? Mariska Hargitay. It's fucking Mariska Hargitay. Negron,
I can't
relax.
say it like that.
Why not?
Because even when I was a kid, I would.
That's
do
why
it.
you live with the hipsters.
No. I was a latch mansion kid. So I would learn things in a totally different, like asperage. Asperage are the only things we can eat with our fingers.
Yeah. And it makes your puh smell funny.
No.
Why does Zoltan Hargitay have a scar on his neck?
I said,
I know what you said. Explain it.
Jane Mansfield had a photo opportunity with a lion.
Okay.
The MGM lion. And when she sat in front of the MGM lion, because she wanted to touch the lion, when the light went off.
For the flash, for the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lion's wife attacked Zoltan.
Didn't go for the star. The lion knew if I attack a contract performer, that's my ass. I'll get the kid. I'll get less loved. I'm not even going to go for Mariska because she's got that SVU in her future. It's like, you know what? I'm going to eat Danny Baldwin.
Oh, yeah, oh, God.
I'm not going to eat Alec or Sir Alec Guinness. I'm going to go lesser. I'm going to go less Baldwin. I'm going to go less Hargitay. So how old was Zoltan when he got eaten by a lion?
Oh, I think he was maybe 13.
13-year-old got his...
Yeah.
And he lived.
And he lived, and they sewed his head back. and he had a wonderful life. I mean, he makes...
Sounds great. Because last time I heard of him, he had his head coming through your window of your home like a creep. What's so wonderful about it?
Then he had this huge Raymond Chandler slash there.
Why was he in your house sticking his head through the windows?
Okay, here's what happened. My friend directed a movie with Michael Caine and Sally Field and another big star.
Nicole Wallace from The View. Fucking full circle, bitches. Score it up, chalk it. That's why I'm here. Michael Caine, Sally Field. Somehow this
and they rented my house. He said, "Can I rent your house?"
Yeah.
And I said, "How much?" And they said, "We'll give you X amount of dollars." I said, "You'll use it then for 5 weeks as a location." So Sally Field and what's his name?
Michael Caine and another lady.
Yeah.
Used your house for a movie.
Yeah. And why am I telling you this?
Because I want to know how you know Zoltan and why his head's sticking in your windows with half a head.
Because they turned my house into a set and they painted it orange and blue and they made it like a fucktown. It looked like at one point. And Sally Field was
the official colors of fucktown, orange and blue. In case you're
Sally Field. It was Sally Field's house. So Sally Field, I said, well, does Sally Field play a Honduran in this movie? Did you have to paint my entire house orange? It was just so... I didn't get along with any of these people. Finally, they got mad at me. They got super mad at me because I slept in the Sally Field bed after it had been prepped for work.
Well, you have to.
No one told me...
I'm with you.
...that I had somewhere to go.
Yeah.
I thought... No one negotiated that I needed to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So they yelled at me, and I said, then you know what? We're done. No more movie. Get out. Take your film and your lenses and get out. And then the lawyers came in and they said, Taylor, what could make you happy? What can make you happy?
You said Zoltan Hargaday. I want him washed and sent to my tent.
Which is bungalow.
What kind of circuitous fucking route are you taking? Why is Zoltan Hargaday in your
so
house?
they would because for 8 weeks.
14-minute fucking explanation.
Because I went to that house up there at the Chateau Marmont for 8 weeks. Came back, my house was thrashed. It looked like they made a movie in there. I was so mad, I can't even tell you. And it was that Monachum Globus people, Globum Glopus, whatever they were called.
Yeah.
And they screwed me. And then finally we negotiated people to work on the house. Zoltan was one of them. And Zoltan came with his friends, and they were these kind of lost souls.
Zoltan Hargaday was the guy, he's got to like repaint your house.
Yeah, he was the one.
His mom was Jane Mansfield, his father was Mr. Universe.
Yes.
And his sister's on SVU.
Yeah.
And he gets to paint your house from, make it non-Honduran. With half a neck.
Mariska Hargitay comes up to me the other day.
Hargitay.
Huh?
You're not Vietnamese. I don't know why you're talking this way. It's fucking Hargitay.
Do you know that I was having a
Mariska Hargitay comes up to you the other day. I interrupted him.
And says, she is so beautiful and so talented. I mean, she's really talented. She's pushing a baby with her really handsome husband. And she looked at me and she went, hey, I know you. And I said... Not really.
You said, I'm trying to mourn. I paid $38. Where did you see Mariska Hargitay?
On the corner where I live. And in New York. I live in New York. And she says, but no, I really know you from somewhere. Are you like an actor? And I said, not sometimes. I'm in things. But you're the actor. You're the big star. I was Ruth Gordon. I was like, you're a big star.
Reference for 8. I love it. You're
the one that I'm gonna watch a TV show. So there she is, and then she said, no, but seriously, where do I know you from? And I said, Zoltan. And she went to Zoltan. I said, how is Zoltan?
She said it sad like that?
Yeah, but she went to Zoltan. And then I said, like at the end of the way
That's like Jack saying, oh, Teddy.
God,
Are they close?
Who?
Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, and Zoltan? Who knows?
I thought that was the whole point. Of,
No.
Did she say hi to my own brother for me, or?
She kind of said, he's doing very, very well. Thank you very much. I said, I always kept good thoughts for him.
That's nice. And
because the idea that kid had no head.
Well, he had a head, in all fairness.
But
it was just sewn back on.
For an hour, it went away.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, Taylor, this is important. People need to know this. At jmohr.com, my website, your website wouldn't load for me for some reason. I'm sure it's my Wi-Fi in my house. Do you have all your dates, and everything Talor Negron is up on talornegron.com?
You know what? We have not been doing that because I feel that I like being the surprise guest.
Okay.
And as a comic, you can appreciate that because you have name value. It's very interesting to walk into a place and just say, I'm going to be a special surprise guest. There's no expectation, and then I can do all of this experimental work.
Yeah.
That's become this album. Because when I met him, he was singing songs, and I thought, could I help?
Logan Heftel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Logan Heftel. And
want to be a good talk show host? Just keep resetting it. Why aren't I?
You know what? If you wanted to do that, you could do that.
I want to do it. I want to interview people I don't give a shit about their 5th cookbook. I want daytime actresses to go, well, this one we decided there are such a thing as gluten-free tomatoes, and this is important.
Yeah. No, there is something to be said about people who can ask and present themselves in a Ken Burns stillness.
By stillness, you mean take 24 months to get one interview done?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I think he filmed that movie in real time, that documentary about baseball. I'm like, I know when it started. I don't know you were going to take that long to finish the documentary, Ken Burns. My point about asking about TalorNegron.com, which you're telling me is really not the best place to go see Talor Negron.
No. I mean, what?
Say it again? So what did he say out loud?
Thebandthebible.com.
The Band Bible.
The Band the Bible.
Okay, thebandthebible.com.
Yes.
What's on there?
All things Taylor and Logan musically and visually.
You guys are on an unlikely pairing because he looks like he got kicked out of Alice in Chains. And you right now look like you're like a cop in Panic in Needle Park, like right before he puts his uniform on.
Thank you. God, I love that look.
No music in Panic in Needle Park.
No.
No music. No score.
Dominic Dunn.
You're a lovely dancer. The nurse is a dyke. She's a dyke.
Go to jmohr.com. If you're going to go to... here's why I say this. If you want to go to Amazon to shop, don't go to amazon.com. Talor Negron, that's foolish to do. What you do instead is you go to jmohr.com, you click the Amazon banner, that'll take you to amazon.com. Essentially...
Can we put the Band the Bible there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, or anybody that wants the band, the Bible, go... Or if you want to get the song, Laughter by Talor Negron and Logan Heftel.
You need traffic.
You need traffic. And Amazon wants to know you got there through
I'm
jmohr.
scared of traffic.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Steve Winwood's a nice guy.
I don't like the idea when people know where I'm at.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that...
Nothing on Winwood. I thought I had him right between the eyes with that.
But I'll tell you something.
Let me get this ad out real quick. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, buy whatever you want. Amazon wants to know you got there through jmohr.com. Email me what you bought. I do answer my own emails, and I'll read it on the podcast. Like this guy, Ryan Castle. Listen to this. Put your name on it, JJ. I've listened to every episode of your podcast, and I feel like we've been boys for years. You're the type of person who can shoot the shit with anyone, and I appreciate your honesty and genuine attitude. I make videos with my little girl. I bought an Opteka SteadyVid SVHD camera stabilizer from Amazon, but I clicked through jmohr.com to get it. I had to put my name on it. Thanks for everything. Ryan Castle, Chicago, Illinois. Hey, guess what, Ryan Castle? Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Very nice.
So, yeah, they can go get Beautiful, the song for Robin Williams, through Amazon.
You know, in my little apartment in New York, I listen to the radio.
Yeah? A lot of Hannity? I see you as a Hannity guy?
No. Boy, oh boy. No, I'm NPR, and I go from there, and I just, hear readings. But we have a lot of power. You have a lot of power when you speak. And that hole has really been made bigger. So we have to start connecting the dots. I mean, I'm serious.
What hole, sweetie?
Well, there's the hole of laughter is gone. The world became a little bit more serious.
Okay.
Like the drum rolls of wars are happening.
Yeah.
But this is a great time for duos. No, seriously.
I'm with you.
I mean, this wartime thing is great for comedians.
We need more comedy now.
We need more
But the
comedy
good news,
now.
Taylor, is it's out there. Like, there's not a city in America where you can't go see. Like, I just got back from Portland. Like, every city I go to, there's like this weird local scene. And it makes me so happy that you can live in Dallas and do stand-up for... I thought it was just New York and L.A. and everywhere else. But you can live in Denver. You can live in Portland.
Is Portland just like you thought it would be?
Portland is a Canadian San Francisco.
Wow.
Is that a fair assessment?
You know what? It's poetry, because that's what I felt.
Really?
When
San Francisco's got that grime. There's always a little grime on the windshield. Portland, no grime. It's like Calgary, but it's as beautiful as San Francisco. I was stunned by its beauty. The hipster
and there's
douchebags.
an undercurrent of sausage.
Sausage?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
No, that kind of
organic
German.
I would have given you organic. I would have given you organic apples.
These are secret Nazis up there.
Oh,
they're eating Nazi.
Oh,
sausage.
I went to that meeting too.
Yeah,
I was a friend of Bill's and a friend of A's. Go on.
My friend is at my house. He's from Germany. He's very upset about the Middle East, and he wants to talk to me about it and talk to me about the Koran and all the things about the Koran. So I took Koran classes from him. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. You're a learner. You're a seeker.
Yeah.
That's why you're such a great comic.
Yeah, I mean, and you learn all of that. And
what did you learn most from reading the Koran?
Well, the rules are very difficult to absolutely give yourself up to something. You have to do it wholeheartedly. Meaning, if you leave the church, I can kill you.
Really?
I mean, there's an underneath to it, and there is a darkness there. There's a rule.
It's not like a 10 Commandments, like just don't fuck your neighbor's wife, and we're cool. Don't kill, don't steal, don't forsake that parent. You're saying the Quran.
Culturally, it's
very
a different
layered
thing.
and
they must be respected. It's not up to us to even comment on it.
On the Quran?
Well, I mean, and those people are Muslim friends. My best friend married a Muslim guy.
Okay.
So we've had to go through, like, every year she goes, I hate Ramadan. I hate Ramadan.
I don't even know what Ramadan is.
Ramadan.
I know the name.
Ramadan is where you...
I thought he played for the Pistons.
You have to fast for 30 days.
That's horrible. Get you that bad breath?
Oh, my God.
I haven't eaten breath.
You can't have water. You can't make love. It's 30 days.
Well, who would want to make love after not eating for 8 days, 1 day, 2 days?
Ask Terry Schiavo.
Terry Schiavo.
Let's not forget Terry. That's a great comedy name.
Terry Schiavo? Wasn't that the name of Blair's cousin? That had no, that was Terry. Shit. Remember Blair on Facts of Life? She had a cousin with like MS that did comedy.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
At least they rhymed.
Meet cousin Jerry.
Don't worry, it's not an earthquake. I always look like this. You're like, wow. I remember being
at
8.
the Comedy Store. I remember her coming on stage for the first time, and I said, "This is a free for all."
As they say in JFK, we are through the looking glass, people. Talor Negron, the band, The Bible. Did I get that right? And what is on this website? I feel like there's something Illuminati about you. Like, I can't fucking figure it out.
The Illuminati is exactly that. We have a new song called the Bible Stories, which is we are now writing the Third Testament.
I think the Mormons beat you to it there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so you may be writing the Fourth Testament.
Well, I mean, it could be the 8th.
3A.
It could be the 14th.
3A.
Yeah. You are doing 3A.
Yeah.
And so we could do it with jokes, what we remember, and what we sing about.
Okay.
So we were hoping that the end of the world was going to happen in 2012.
You were hoping that the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, we thought that if the whole thing exploded, there'd be more options for record deals.
Yeah, and more opportunities for employment.
Yeah.
And by the way,
would be dead.
And we took our marching orders from the Mayans, who are fucking gone.
Yeah,
like they didn't foresee their own demise, but somehow they put it in a time capsule, and we all freaked out that they called our demise. Way to go, Mayans!
There's some Mayans in Mayans.
If you meet a Mayan, tweet me. Are you on Twitter? Yes, you are. I saw your Twitter.
Yeah, I saw.
Active?
I can't because I write this movie in India, right?
The Bollywood, where they want the pictures.
Yes, and they will just give me a lot of money. These people are complete billionaires.
And I like that you share that with me for no reason. That money, the fact that you just are going to mail me some.
Oh, I'll set up a fund.
Okay.
I'm going to be like that character that gives it all away. But trust me, I will have an exquisite suite of rooms.
Brewster's Millions.
Oh, yeah.
Talor
I will
Negron.
have frette sheets.
Well, you have, first of all, you say that like it's this unattainable thing. I could take you inside this house right now and show you 4 bedrooms with frette sheets and the thread
Do you
count.
have any old frette sheets you don't need anymore?
I actually might. They might be in these cabinets. Corey probably loaded them up her damn
That
self.
would be a really good thing to do.
Give you frette sheets?
Well, I'll give it to the Fresh Air Fund.
Fresh Air Fund? I want your body on it. I want the guy that slept in Sally Field's bed to sleep on my frette sheets.
Sally Field,
I want Zoltan to wake me up in the morning with a crooked neck.
Sally Field, my friend, I did Punchline with her.
Fayeld.
I like her. She's a crack up.
I loved her on Saturday Night Live. She was very nice to me when everybody was not nice to me for no reason. She was just nice and kind, and sometimes it's all you need in humanity is a human being to say.
I hear these stories about SNL.
It's fine. You make your own bed.
I know, but still,
I shot myself in the foot, and I was a drunk, and I didn't try very hard. It's fine. If I hung around, I probably would have done
good
very well.
for you, though.
What?
No, I mean to go and do that and not toe the company line, have that experience. It's like finishing school.
Well, everybody that has bad things to say about Lorne Michaels, I'm like, yeah, but he picked you.
Yeah.
He picked you. Out of thousands of comics, at one night at Stand Up New York, Lorne Michaels went, I like the blonde boy.
Mm-hmm.
He amuses me.
Yeah.
Will he be at the joust, Aaron?
No, you did that, and you left a mark, and it's over. That's the whole thing about it. Goes by so quickly, doesn't it?
It all does. Everything with this, everything,
and
life.
Like Milton Berle was forbidden to host SNL after his first hosting job because he hammed it up so badly.
Yeah, he was a real schmackter.
He scared the people.
Yeah. Who was the meanest person you ever worked with?
Dick Shawn.
Dick Shawn? He fucking died on stage, Dick Shawn. This is a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Before I even hear it, because the listener needs to know Dick Shawn was a pretty good comic. He had a one-man show on Broadway, and in the intermission, he would sleep on a park bench on the set. And then you know this, obviously. Yeah. And then the curtain came up, and he was laying on the park bench, and about 15 minutes went by, and his son goes, "This isn't part of the show." Because the second act opened with him laying on a park bench. He had a goddamn heart attack in intermission. He died on stage. And I always thought, what a great way to go on Broadway. And then you're telling me he's a cocksucker. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck him. I don't want him to go that way. Let him get his head bitten off by an MGM tiger. Let Zoltan die that way.
You know what? He was on that show with Patty Duke. I did a show with Patty Duke and this guy, Sean.
You said that like there's a Patty Duke show. Like, oh, yeah.
Well, she played the president.
What?
It was in 19...
Did you take acid before you came here?
No, in 1989. It was called Ted Bessel and Patty.
You look it up. All right, so Patty Duke played the president.
Yes.
Okay.
And there I was as the butler with Quinn Cummings.
Okay.
Who had just come off of The Goodbye Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she would make these remarks to me about that I was her personal love slave.
On the show?
Yeah. And
okay.
Even though she was 14 and I was 21. And
she played a 14-year-old president?
No, this is Quinn Cummings was the daughter.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And I said I wouldn't do it because it was disgusting to me.
Well, yeah.
And I said I can't do these lines. You have to come up with something. I can't come on to a kid and that the kid and I had sex last night. It's not cool.
Otherwise, you had to explain perverts at a sleepaway camp to Logan, like the creeper that was in the camp. So what happened?
It all worked out.
That's your way of tapping out of a story you don't remember the ending to?
No, what was it?
I have no idea how we got here. Dick Shawn was an asshole.
Oh, Dick Shawn. I was on that show with Art Carney, Dick Shawn, Adam Arkin. The Emperor Has No Clothes, Shelley Duvall, Fairy Tale Theater. And Peter Maddock directed it. And we were all in this kind of empire armor with things on my head. And I was the Royal Army of One. And Dick Shawn would say that I wasn't bowing deep enough.
Like during rehearsals?
Yeah. Like he goes, no, try a little deeper when you bow to me. And I'm wearing...
And it goes on. But people listening go like, well, what's the big deal? And I'll tell non-show business listeners, the big deal is this goes on every day, minute by minute, for like 6 fucking months. Like, think of your coworkers at your cubicle that goes like, hey, man, I think your pants are too tight. And then he says that like twice in one day, and you're like, what's with this guy in my fucking pants? Now imagine it's show business, and everyone's staring at you, and it's your job to bow a certain way, and Dick Shawn gets in your head.
He got in my head, and he said, deeper and deeper, and I had a 25-pound headdress on my head. So it was like that Lucy episode. I mean, I did go down.
You fell over.
I fell over on my face. And no,
did you tell him, are you happy, Dick Shawn?
Well, and then I got up, and the real candles burnt the feathers, and I said, new meaning to the term, get that flaming actor off the set. But then we did the Patty Duke show, and he wasn't nice to me then. Then we did another show. He just was not happy. It's like Lucy wasn't happy. That's why we as people, whatever business you're in, choose to be happy.
Hail to the Chief, 1995.
Hail to the Chief. 1985.
85?
Yeah.
1885, looks like.
When was your first job?
I hosted a lip sync game show on MTV in 1990, and then I got an ABC sitcom at the same time. I was about 19, 20. I was on Saturday Night Live at 22, but movie was Jerry Maguire. I was 25. That was the big one.
Did you think for a second it was going to end up like that?
I thought it was going to end way bigger than it is now. I always had incredible egomania. And I always thought, like, wow, everybody thinks I'm as great as I think I am. Yeah. To be honest.
No, I know.
And when you do Jerry Maguire, and then I did Picture Perfect at the same time, they overlapped for about 3 weeks, I thought, fucking watch out, Hollywood, here I come.
Yeah.
And then my next 15 movies, I'm like Parker Posey, just slinging the independent lines around for no money.
I know.
Parker Posey, who I like, by the way, just meant the type of movie.
No, I mean people of a caliber being exploited by the greed of the money.
You know what I do now? I do a lot of stand-up comedy. I got a radio show every day. It's 3 hours a day. It's nationally syndicated. And it ends at noon. At 12:30, I pick my 3-year-old up at preschool. I make a quarter of the money that I used to make when I was making money. And every day I picked up a kid up at school, and I go, wow. Money really it can be useless at moments like this when a 3-year-old goes, Daddy! And like pointing to his friends like, that's my daddy. Like if he gets to go, fuck yeah, man, like he would.
I know.
And I go, okay, now I get it. This is success right now. Yeah. And I get to sit at a table in my garage with my friends with crickets on the west side after you swam in the ocean and you look like you're in Panic in Needle Park. You're the cop before he puts on his outfit.
Boy, it was just, the ocean is so powerful.
Well, down here, did you go right at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah.
It's really rough. It's a crazy
really rough.
You're lucky to be alive.
But no, I grew up here, so I was one of those kids that kind of hung out at the Colony. And I was
at the beach club up the street
for where all
people in Ohio.
All the movie stars lived, the movie star colony. And I would watch Robert Redford and Mary Tyler Moore. And all
I just saw him there the other day on his bike.
Really?
I take my kid down there to Will Rogers Beach. And then I'm in the parking lot. I got these jugs of, when he's done with his apple juice, I fill it with water. I keep it in the truck. So when we get out of the water, he's got warm water to get like all the sand out of his cracks and stuff. And I look up at this guy. It's fucking Robert Redford. Just hanging out. Completely alone on a 10-speed. Robert Redford.
You know, it's...
I walked up to him. I punched him right in the face.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, first off, I really enjoy your commercials about Geico's app. I watch them over and over and over. They make me both laugh and very hungry. Weird. Anyway, I just want to let you know how Geico's new claim status updates on the app really blow me away. Getting those updates makes me think of you. I'd like to thank you in person. Just send me your address. All the best, Big Bad W. Sure thing, Big Bad W. I got a pen. It's 802 Not Gonna Happen Lane.
Claim status updates just a tap away on the Geico app.
When I drive, I want excitement behind the wheel. That's why I choose Shell V-Power Premium Gasoline, and I experience a drive that comes alive. Shell V-Power removes an average of 60% of performance-robbing gunk on intake valves left by low-quality premium gasolines. Hey, man, I drive a lot for a living. I can't have gunk in my engine. That's why I got that Shell V-Power Premium, baby. Starts with your very first tank. Now you can save big on Shell fuels. Just sign up free for the Fuel Rewards Network program and receive at least 3 cents per gallon instantly on every single fill-up. For a full offer and details, visit fuelrewards.com.
I saw Larry Miller the other night.
I love Larry Miller.
And everybody, there's Larry Miller, and I walked right up to him, and he smiled so nicely. He was like, Taylor. And I thought, how nice, just that I made him happy, and then he made me happy by even remembering me.
How easy, but why do people complicate that?
I don't know why we do that. Isn't it weird?
Yeah. Our family motto is be kind. It's on the refrigerator.
But be kind to yourself.
Everybody. Just, you can change. God's in everybody. You go to a toll booth and tell the guy takes your money, and you look at the guy right before you drive away, you go fuck yourself. That guy's going to go home and yell at his wife. He's going to wake up the next day, tell all of his friends. His friends are all fucking angry. You just affected an entire group of human beings. And then, meanwhile, you're 3 states away. You forgot about it. Just be nice. Say hi to somebody. Pat him on the back. And say, I loved you in,
No, I mean...
so little time.
No, it's just, even if, telling a girl that she's pretty.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know what, you look outstanding today, or those are very nice pants, whatever it is. Just a strike of, because right now our humanity has a digital footprint that's being obliterated. Because everybody doesn't want, no, but it's easier to talk. You twat it out.
Twat.
Whatever it's called.
No, that's it.
I remember when I sexted, I had to use a rotary phone. And it would take forever. And I hurt myself.
And that metal bar at the end.
Well,
keep you from the overflow. That's what gets you.
That's exactly
I never
right.
understand in movies when they get disconnected, in the old movies when they have like the regular phone. They get disconnected, so they keep hanging up on themselves over and over again, hoping the connection comes back. They go like, hello? Hello? I think I got disconnected. And then they just keep hanging up over and over like, hello? Hello? Maybe if I hang up 40 times, he'll come back. Who's the nicest person you ever worked with? Let's end this on a positive note. Kevin Spacey's up there for me.
Kevin is totally great. Robin, Sally Field, I always loved because she was so committed to the work.
Really?
Yeah, I saw her the other day in New York, and I was going to a movie audition, and she said, when you go in there, go in as the character. Just go in.
This is recently.
Yeah.
This fascinates me.
Yeah, she's into it. She goes to the plays all by herself, and she said, just go in as the character. And I went in as Mary Todd Lincoln, and they said I was too Civil War-y.
Yeah, that's great.
You've been making me laugh all night.
Todd Lincoln. You had me earlier. Todd Lincoln.
No, you made me laugh. I feel like I have to give something back.
No, I dug it. I like the conversation, and I dig you. And it's Talor Negron, and he's at Talor Negron on Twitter, which he's somewhat into. You know what? Fuck that. Tweet Talor Negron, and I want you to hashtag Todd Lincoln, and that'll make him. Would that make you smile? Let's say it's a day you wake up. It's one of those days where that cloud's approaching. At some point in the day, you're going to have a not so nice time within yourself. And then you open up your Twitter, and you got like a couple, 16 mentions, and it's a bunch of hashtags Todd Lincoln. That's going to make you happy, right?
You know what?
Yes or no?
It could scare me.
Why?
Because I live in the ancient village of Seneca.
I forgot about that.
I live on Central Park West.
You guys still have the sundial? Is it okay? Because I remember got knocked over by the carriage when the Centaur came through. If you want to fucking play, I'll play. But don't half-ass me with your fucking plate of blueberries.
I know.
Like you kind of play with the Todd Lincoln, then you tap out, and then I play and you leave me hanging, and then
No. I'm obsessed with the Civil War. I live in New York. That city, was around 100 years before the Civil War. It was a fact that New York really was pivotal in the Civil War.
How?
Because
General Hooker got appointed there, and they sent him to do the work that McClure couldn't get done. You want to go Civil War with me? Let's fucking do it.
Lincoln did the Cooper Union address, and Matthew Brady did his headshot that day, because it was that simple. He got the right headshot.
And the Cooper Union, by the way, named after the great actor Chris Cooper, who you can see in American Beauty.
I just performed there.
Laugh at something, I say.
I'm looking at you as kind of like.
Logan's laughing.
Oprah, you're like a honey roasted turkey Oprah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm the Oprah turducken. I'm a tofu Oprah.
Because we're in this Oprah world, and no guy is doing this except for Ellen.
Yeah. And I loved your article. Anybody? Okay, here's an assignment, Warriors, as you've named yourselves. If you want to read something fucking hilarious, look up Talor Negron's article about Anne Heche from Huffington Post back in the day. Because you really,
funny or what?
It's hysterical because my wife and I had the same discussion. Like, why isn't she going through people's trash cans anymore? How come she's not with the aliens? Like now she's just normal.
She has more sexual allure than anyone I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah. When you are in,
and you met Travolta.
John Travolta. No, Anne Heche, laying in a bed, just kind of prone.
What movie was this?
We were at a party.
Nothing But Trouble?
No, we were at a party at the Chateau Marmont.
And she decided, I'm going to lay in bed prone at this party.
Yeah, I mean, she was one of those, you know how those cats are?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on.
I never met a gal that just laid in a bed at a party.
Oh, yeah,
was it Sally Field's bed?
No, Sally Field has an iron lung, an emotional iron lung.
I love it. She's Norma Ray, for fuck's sake.
No, those girls that kind of like Patty, those...
They slink.
They slink, and then they make a little round area, and then they start pulling in the Koreans.
She's magnetic person.
Yeah, and then then the room starts spinning like a circle and a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel.
And so she's one of those people.
Yeah,
she was the most sexually alluring person you ever met.
Well, no, Barbra Streisand's ass was very attractive one night.
Yeah, but it's not its own entity. You're acting like it has its own feeding schedule. And if it did, you know what that would be? Chatty.
Yes.
Talor Negron, this has been Mohr Stories, my friends. Hashtag Todd Lincoln. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Put your name on it.
Chatty.
What was that? All new episodes of Mike Tyson Mysteries air Mondays at 10:30, 9:30 Central on Adult Swim. You see, Mike Tyson is done with boxing, and now the champ and his team, a talking pigeon, a ghost, and his adopted Korean daughter, are out solving mysteries, just like Scooby-Doo. He's even got his own mystery van. You can join Mike as he punches dinosaurs, leprechauns, and astronauts on the moon. The all-star voice cast includes the real Mike Tyson, Norm